China has slammed reports that the United States is preparing to deploy nuclear-capable B-52 bombers to northern Australia, saying the move could trigger an arms race.
Long-range bombers are a capability that the PLA, so the Chinese armed forces, have already, so I'm not sure where the arms race is occurring here.
As tensions rise between the United States and China, the well-known B-52 Stratofortress, equipped with advanced weapons, takes to the skies. It serves as a symbol of air dominance and a reminder of its long-lasting impact. This bomber is meant to counter China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific region. The deployment of the B-52 has led to a significant response from China. How will China respond to the presence of this legendary bomber with its advanced weaponry? What effect will the new bomb technology used by the B-52 have on the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific? You are watching Battleground. Consider subscribing to watch regular episodes. The United States is getting ready to send up to 6 B-52 bombers, which can carry nuclear weapons, to a faraway airbase in northern Australia. This has made China upset. They're going to build special facilities for the bombers at the Royal Australian Air Force's Tyndall base, which is about 300 kilometers south of Darwin. This shows that the United States and Australia are committed to making their defense stronger for a long time.
Based upon today's talks, we will increase rotational presence of U.S. forces in Australia.
It's a big deal for the Indo-Pacific region because it affects defense agreements and who has power. Sending B-52 bombers to Australia is a big step in making the area more secure and showing that they can defend against possible threats. The Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, talked about how the United States and Australia work together on defense, with thousands of U.S. Marines training in the region. This teamwork helps keep things stable in the area. China doesn't like the idea of B-52 bombers being in Australia, and they're worried it might make things tense. The U.S. has plans to make a special place for B-52 operations, a maintenance center, and a parking area during the dry season in the Northern Territory. This will make it easier for the U.S. to use air power in the region and tell possible enemies that they're serious about keeping things safe. Deciding to send B-52s to Australia is a big deal, especially with concerns about what's happening in Taiwan. It's like a strong message to China, saying that the United States is committed to protecting its interests and supporting its friends when there are big problems.
We are in an era of challenges and changes. It is also an era of hope. The world needs China and the United States to work together for a better future.
This decision is part of a plan by the United States to be more present in the Indo-Pacific area, like the recent agreement with the United Kingdom and Australia to give Australia advanced technology for submarines that run on nuclear power. This has made tensions between these countries and China worse and made things more complicated in the region. The B-52 Stratofortress is a famous airplane known for its great history in aviation, showing how it can handle tough situations and adapt to different challenges. This special bomber has made a lasting mark in the history of aerial warfare by adapting and meeting the changing needs of modern warfare. It's interesting to note that the B-52 has many similarities with its predecessor, the B-47 Strat jet strategic bomber. They both share key design features, like their distinct swept wings and the use of jet engines. One important part of any bomber is the crew cabin, and in the B-52, it's equipped with ejection systems to ensure the safety of the crew. In the B-52D model, the ejection systems were designed so the pilots and operators could eject in different directions for safety. In earlier models, the gunner responsible for defensive firepower had to leave the tail gun behind when bailing out, but this changed over time. The position of the tail gunner moved to the front of the fuselage, and gun slaying was done solely by radar. In September 2006, the B-52 achieved a significant milestone by being one of the first U.S. military aircraft to use alternative fuel. This was a big step in reducing the military's reliance on regular fuels and addressing environmental concerns. The B-52 took off from Edwards Air Force Base using a special fuel blend, marking the first time a USAF aircraft operated solely on this alternative source. The B-52 was designed for specific mission needs, and it had certain characteristics. It didn't need complex maneuvers or advanced spin recovery capabilities. The aircraft's rudder and elevator were designed with a specific focus, providing limited yaw and elevator control authority. The B-52 used a stabilator, also known as an all-moving tail, for adjustments during takeoff and landing. The flight control system of the B-52 had small ailerons with a short span, which helped in delicate maneuvers like aerial refueling, ensuring the pilot had control during these actions. In the later B-52G models, they took off the ailerons, wing parts that help with turning, and added an extra spoiler to each wing, which messed with how the plane is controlled. However, these changes made the B-52G and H models more likely to sway from side to side, a movement called Dutch roll. The B-52 kept getting better with improvements to its computer systems to make it better in combat. The Jolly Well program in 1964 upgraded parts of the bombing computer and the terrain computer. By 1965, most planes got the Madre upgrade, which let them find problems in the computer systems, especially important for watching AGM-28 Hound Dog missiles. In 2007, the B-52 got a big update with the Lightning targeting pod. This new addition made the plane much better at attacking ground targets. It had features like laser guidance, a high-resolution sensor to look forward, and a camera for target pictures. This targeting pod technology was also added to other U.S. planes like the McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet, the General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon, and the McDonnell Douglas AV-8B Harrier. Over time, the B-52 got better at carrying weapons. In the G and H models starting in 1971, they could carry up to 20 AGM-69 SRAM nuclear missiles, making the plane better at defending and attacking. They also added air-launched cruise missiles, ALCMs, to the B-52's weapons. The AGM-86B was picked to be used not just on the B-52 but also on the B-1 Lancer. They changed the B-52Gs and Hs to carry these ALCMs, putting 12 missiles on underwing pylons. Later on, they modified 82 B-52Hs even more to fit 8 extra missiles in a rotating launcher inside the bomb bay. This made the B-52 much better at going after a wider range of targets. To follow the rules of the SALT II Treaty, which said that planes with cruise missiles should be easily seen by satellites, B-52Gs with cruise missiles got a special wing part. In 1990, a new kind of missile, the AGM-129 ACM cruise missile, came into use to maybe replace the AGM-86, but they only made 450 of them because they cost a lot, and when the Cold War ended, they didn't make a regular non-nuclear version. The B-52 was also supposed to change to use Northrop Grumman's AGM-137 TSSM Tri-Service Standoff Attack Missile weapon. Nevertheless, the missile program was eventually cancelled due to rising development costs, and the TS-SAM was never incorporated into the B-52's weapons collection. Those B-52Gs that were not converted to carry cruise missiles went through a series of changes to enhance their ability to drop regular bombs. They were fitted with a new integrated system for managing conventional stores and new pylons under the wings capable of carrying larger bombs and other items compared to the external pylons. About 30 B-52Gs underwent additional modifications to carry up to 12 AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles each. Moreover, 12 B-52Gs were adapted to carry the AGM-142 HNAP standoff air-to-ground missile. The modifications under the Conventional Enhancement Program improved the B-52H's conventional weapons capabilities by introducing modified underwing weapon pylons similar to those used by conventionally armed B-52Gs. As a result, the B-52H became capable of carrying new generation weapons, including the Joint Direct Attack Munition, Wind-Corrected Munitions Dispenser, guided bombs, the AGM-154 glide bomb, and the AGM-158 Joint Standoff Surface Standoff Missile. The program also brought in new radios and integrated GPS into the aircraft's navigation system. The forward-looking infrared sensor was replaced with a more modern unit, enhancing the B-52H's targeting abilities. In recent times, there has been a shift in the USAF's approach to the B-52's weapons capabilities. The B-61 and B-83 nuclear gravity bombs, previously part of the B-52's arsenal, have been phased out due to changes in modern air defenses, with the B-52 no longer deemed sufficiently survivable to penetrate these defenses. Instead, the focus has turned to using nuclear cruise missiles and expanding the aircraft's role in conventional strike missions. This strategic shift was confirmed in the 2019 Safety Rules for U.S. Strategic Bomber Aircraft Manual, which indicated the removal of B-61 and B-83-1 gravity bombs from the approved weapons configuration for the B-52H. Recent upgrades in 2016 by Boeing involved a program to enhance the internal rotary launchers to the EMIL STD-1760 interface, enabling the internal carriage of smart bombs that were previously only carried on the wings. This enhancement significantly increases the B-52's capacity for precision-guided munitions. Additionally, the B-52's weaponry is poised for a substantial upgrade with the introduction of advanced hypersonic missiles like the AGM-183A, Air-Launched Rapid Response Standoff and the Future Long-Range Standoff nuclear-armed air-launched cruise missile. These additions will further enhance the B-52's ability to engage various targets with cutting-edge technology. The B-52's performance and abilities depend a lot on the engines it uses. The plane has 8 engines placed in pods and hanging from 4 wings under the towers in front. This unique tower setup also helps prevent wing stalls, delaying when stalls might happen. The changes in the B-52's engines show how the plane can adapt to different needs. When it was first being tested, XB-52 and YB-52, it used special Pratt & Whitney YJ57P3 turbojet engines. These engines gave a push of 700 pounds force. As the B-52 got better, it got new engines. The B-52A models had Pratt & Whitney J57P1W turbojets with a dry push of 10,000 pounds force, briefly boosted to 11,000 pounds force by adding water. Later models used Pratt & Whitney J57P29W, J57P29WA, or J57P9W series engines rated at 10,500 pounds force. The B-52F and G models made a big change with Pratt & Whitney J57P43WB turbojets, giving a bigger push of 13,750 pounds force with water injection. In 2021, the US Air Force decided to update the B-52's engines, picking the Rolls-Royce F-130 engine. They bought 650 engines for $2.6 billion, keeping the original 8-engine setup to make things simpler and less costly. The aim was to make the plane more modern while keeping its unique design. The upgraded B-52H with Rolls-Royce F-130 engines got called B-52JS, showing the B-52's lasting ability to adapt. Even though the B-52 is still a strong threat, the US Air Force is making progress with the B-21 Raider, a new bomber being developed by Northrop Grumman as part of the Long-Range Strike Bomber program, making big strides in military aviation. The B-21 Raider, designed for extended missions and equipped with advanced stealth technology, aims to replace older bombers and potentially succeed the B-52 Stratofortress. Development began in 2011, with Northrop Grumman securing a major contract in 2015. Expected to have its first flight in 2023 and operational service by 2027, the program is highly secretive. Overseen by the Air Force Rapid Capabilities Office, the B-21 introduces cutting-edge capabilities, and its first public unveiling in December 2022 marked a significant milestone. The primary goal is to equip the US Air Force with a modern and powerful fleet for national defense. However, this advancement raises questions about potential challengers to the United States military strength, especially considering China's development of the H-20 stealth bomber. General M. Yaowen revealed China's novel long-range bomber in 2016, and substantial progress was confirmed in 2018. The H-20, designed for radar detectability minimization, is expected to pose a threat to U.S. targets, including military installations in Guam and Hawaii. While the B-52 remains potent, its deployment amid rising tensions signals a strategic move by the United States, likely prompting a defensive response from China and emphasizing the delicate balance of power in the Indo-Pacific region. That's a wrap. We hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel.